I think the guest speaker is here. If you want to recite the citation again, and then you can bring him up. Thank you.
All right. So it's a privilege for those of us that did not listen the other time to hear what I have to say again, as I'll be taking the citation of the guest speaker. Let's pay rapt attention.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you.
So Meshach O. Aderele is a data scientist and PhD fellow at Landcraft Center for Landscape Research in Sustainable Agricultural Futures, Aarhus University, Denmark, with a MSc in Environmental Science, Ecosystem Management from the American University of Beirut, and a BTech in Forestry and Wood Technology from the Federal University of Technology, Akure. Passionate about tech-driven environmental solutions, he founded Tech Forest, promoting Nigeria forest conservation through digital innovations like Know Your Tree. This initiative employs QR code to help Nigeria students in higher institutions identify tree and access tree information. It is currently being piloted in 2 Nigeria institutions. So if you listen very well while I was reading the citation, you can see that Mr. Meshach is a very passionate citizen of Nigeria, and he's not just passionate alone. He has been able to put his passion into action, as his project is now being executed in 2 Nigeria institutions. So I want us to clap as I invite Mr. Meshach O. Aderele to take up the floor. Let's give him a round of applause.
All right. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Firstly, I don't know if I can be allowed to record, so I can use the video for someone else, or if you can record for me directly via Zoom. Any of the option?
I'm recording that.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, it's nice to be talking to our students today. And yeah, I'm glad that I am doing this today. Thank you, the Rising Star Initiative and the students at Bright Star International High School. All protocols duly observed. I don't know the order of the executive of the school, but I will say I appreciate and celebrate the organizers and the founders, the staff, and everyone that is making this possible at the school. Okay, now I'm going to begin my session with a story, and I'm going to share my screen over here. Can you allow me share screen? Mr. Philip. Okay, what do you say?
I'm working on that.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna start with a story. Okay. I was opportune to start my education very early in life.
You can share now.
Okay, I can do that now. Okay. All right. Okay. Can you see my screen? Right? Okay. Is the screen showing now, Mr. Philip? Is it showing now?
Yes, you can see
Okay,
your screen.
thank you. Thank you very much. Now, like I was saying, I was opportune to start my education very early in life. I went to school, I started school, not when my parents wanted me to start, but when the proprietor or the proprietress of the school felt like I should start. Now, my brother was supposed to take me to a nanny, and he was late to school. So because of that, he took me with them to school, and the proprietress, of course, took me from him and dropped me in the kindergarten. And the proprietress noticed something, that they dropped a child that was basically like less than 2 years old in the kindergarten, and he didn't cry for my mommy, my daddy, or anything all through the day from like 8 a.m. till 2 p.m. And that was how she was like, no, he's starting school today. Now, this may look like a great story, a story of intelligence, a story of brilliance, like, oh, started school early. In my primary school, I even got like double promotions. I've had a time in my primary school that I was reported to the school that I didn't allow other students perform well because I am performing better than every other student. So they should take me from the class and take me to a higher class. But that looked like something fantastic at that level until I got into high school. I got into high school and I started performing very terrible, very terrible. Now, we were 154 when I was in JSS1, 154 students, and my position was 84 out of 154 students. Is that something you would have liked, you would have loved to have as a position? It was frustrating for me. How did a student who was in primary school, like excelling, having the best of positions, becoming a prefect and everything, is now in high school performing very terribly? And believe you me, I performed woefully, like really woefully, till my senior secondary school 2. That was in SS2. How many of you are in SS2 and you are seated here today? If you're in SS2. All right. Now, thank you. You can raise down your hands. What if I tell you that as at SS2, I don't understand basic mathematics? As at senior secondary school 2, I don't understand basic mathematics. Basic mathematics are simple as set theory. Basic mathematics are simple as fraction. Basic mathematics are simple as quadratic equation, simultaneous equation, as at senior secondary school 2. Why am I telling you this today? Is that there might be some of you that are seated here today and you may be giving up and you may feel like, I will be nothing in life because I don't know this. I don't know mathematics. I don't know physics. I don't know English. I don't know this. I don't know everything. So I'm bringing hope to you that you can be anything you desire to be in the future and you are limitless. So I told my mom that I was going to drop out of school, or specifically drop out of science class and go to, I assumed that commercial class or art class, the social sciences were a bit easier. But my mom told me something at that time that, no, you wouldn't drop out, we're going to try something. So they got me an extra lesson teacher, an extra class teacher, who taught me all the science subjects: mathematics, physics, chemistry, and some part of biology, and further mathematics. And that term, I got the best score in the further mathematics test. Someone who don't know set theory, who doesn't know quadratic equation, now is having the high score in complex mathematics, of course, as a secondary school level, as differentiation and integration. So the problem I was facing was that when I was young, when I was like primary school, I was waiting for external motivation. My motivation was external, not internal. So until I have like external support to support me, my performance is going to be affected. I didn't have an internal motivation of reading. I didn't have an internal motivation of how do I go about my academics. I didn't have an internal motivation of how do I want to do it, that I want to be successful in life. I was externally motivated. And in the 21st century, if you want to bridge the gap between academic prowess and 21st century skill, one of the things that's very important to you is to be internally motivated. In the 21st century, your success will depend highly not on external motivations, but on internal motivations. It will be based on the fact that you really want to have success in this century. Not because your mom says you have to succeed, not because your dad says you have to succeed, not because your friend says you have to succeed, but you must be internally motivated. Because you cannot rely on external help all the time for you to become somebody in life. Because most of the 21st century skills are not skills that you are going to learn in the classroom. There'll be skills that you have to teach yourself. You see, no matter how the educational system can be fixed, no matter how the educational system can be organized, the way the 21st century skills are advancing or is advancing, there's no way the educational system can catch up with it. Because there's a way you do something this year, and next year, things are evolving. So we will need to rely a lot on self-education as much as we rely on the formal education. Okay, so that is the way I'm introducing my topic. I mean, the profile has been read. I don't really need to say much about myself. I study here and I work here in Aarhus University in Denmark, and I did my master's in environmental science in Lebanon, and my BTech I did in forestry and wood technology at the Federal University of Technology, Akure. Now, in the current educational landscape, a lot of people has talked down on the current educational landscape a lot. They talk about it like, oh, it is not working. The education is not factoring the latest things in the educational structure. They are not doing this, they are not doing that. There's a lot of complaints about the current educational landscape, about the way education is now. But the reality is that there are a lot of things that formal education cannot fix. There are a lot of things that formal education cannot fix. There needs to be a synergy, a combination between the formal education and the informal education, or what I would call self-education. And that will depend on you. And that will depend on you. You see, the gap between academic success and reward application is that, one, in your school, you have how many hours to go to school in a day? Maybe you go to school at 7 or 8 o'clock and you close at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock. All right. Now, in that period, you're going to do math, you're going to do English, you're going to do, if you're in sciences, you're going to do chemistry, you're going to do biology, you're going to take a lot of subjects. The teachers are doing their best to teach you the things that you need to know. So even though you want to have reward application where you want to go out there, you know, your school would really be interested to give you everything that they want to give you. But one, there's limited capacity based on, of course, how much of funding is available for them to achieve those results. There's limited capacity in, of course, which is environmental based. There's a lot of things that is limiting the ability of the current educational landscape to have complete reward application. And that will bring us back to the fact that you will need to teach yourself a lot of things. You will need to teach yourself a lot of things, a lot of things. The challenges in bridging the gap between your academic prowess and the 21st century skill is this. A lot of times, we've been boxed into a framework. How many of you want to be a doctor, if I ask? How many of you want to be a doctor in the future? Can you raise your hand if you want to be a doctor in the future? Oh, amazing. How many of you want to be a lawyer in the future? You want to be a lawyer, a barrister? A barrister. How many of you? Nobody wants to be a barrister? I'm not seeing your hands. Nobody? Okay. How many of you want to be a bank, a bank manager in the future? Huh? How many of you want to be a bank manager in the future? I can't see your hands. No, so no one wants to be a bank manager in the future? Huh? Okay. How many of you want to be a mechanic in the future? How many of you want to be a mechanic in the future? One person. Can I know the name of that student that wants to be a mechanic? That I see somebody raising his or her hand now. Someone is raising their hands there that they want to be a mechanic in the future. Is it possible for me to get a feedback? Is it possible to get feedback? Like the voice of someone? Is it possible? I can't
It's
hear. I
possible,
can't hear. Okay.
but the person has to move closer to the mic.
Yeah, can the person move closer? Can you tell the person to like move closer? Maybe somebody is there that can tell the person to move closer. Can you clap? Can you clap for him? Can you clap for him? Can you clap for him? What is your name? What is your name? Huh? Can you? I can't hear. I can't hear it. I can't hear it.
Ademola Hanifa Opeyemi.
Opeyemi. Opeyemi. Why do you want to be a mechanic in the future?
I want to be a mechanic because mechanics are
Mechanics are earning money. Can you clap for him? Can you clap? Like I want you to clap a lot for him. I love your thinking because you are earning money. That's wonderful. Opeyemi, I appreciate you. Thank you for thinking that way. And you are not even just going to be a mechanic. In the future, you are going to be the best, producing the best of machines that's going to be saving the world in the future. Can I hear a big amen to that? All right. Thank you very much. Can you clap for him as he goes back to his seat? Thank you, Opeyemi. You can go back. Thank you. Now, there's a point I'm heading to here. When I asked you who wants to be a doctor, everybody said, I could see a lot of hands. Who wants to be a lawyer? Everybody, there was a lot of hands. But by the time I got to who want to be a mechanic, everybody, like only Opeyemi was raising his hands. Now, that is the thing, that is the box that the current educational landscape has created. It has limited, if you're in science, if you're studying in sciences, they tell you you can be a doctor, you can be this and everything. If you're in art class, you can be this. If you're in commercial class, you can be this. But in the 21st century, your success, your ability to do great and mighty things is never dependent on the class that you are in. Whether you are in commercial class, you are in art class, you are in social sciences, you are in sciences, your future is not completely dependent on that class that you find yourself. Your future is dependent in your ability to think big than the current system of things. When all of you were coming to school this morning, you came by school bus. Many of you use school bus. How many of you came by car or bus or something? You didn't trek to school today. Can I see your hand? If you know you came by school bus, by a car, your dad dropped you, right? Your dad dropped you. How many of you wants to be on an aeroplane in the future? You want to fly using an aeroplane, private jet, and everything. Now, how would we? Interesting. I love the answer I'm seeing. Now, how would we achieve the aeroplanes, the vehicles, the cars, and everything that you are using today if we don't have mechanics? How? How do we want to achieve it if we don't have mechanics? How? The innovations, the everything. How do we want to achieve it if we don't have mechanics, for example? And that is the gap between education and 21st century skill. Now, if a child says, I want to be a mechanic in the future, thank God we have Mr. Philip here. Mr. Philip is a mechanic. He studied mechanical engineering, right, Mr. Philip?
Yeah, I'm a mechanic engineer, maybe not a mechanic.
I understand. There's a place I'm going. There's a place I'm going. Now, you will see that it's all about the framing. When you think of mechanics, you think about people at the roadside that are fixing your vehicle at the roadside. But you can become an advanced mechanic, building stuff, doing it in a standard way, fixing engines that many people cannot fix. Yet, you are still an educated mechanic. You have a degree. You probably have a master's, have a PhD. You can become, you can go as far as you want to go in your academic career. You can have the largest academic prowess and still have a skill that is useful for the society, build a company around it. Even at some point, even employ people who go to school specifically to study mechanical engineering to work with you. So what am I telling you today is that you need to open your mind in a wide way. Open your mind widely. Can you echo it? Open your mind what? Widely. Can I hear you echo it out? Open your mind widely. Just beat your chest and say, I will open my mind widely. I will open my mind widely. The possibilities are endless in the future. The possibilities are endless in the future. All right. Now, how do you bridge the gap? How do you bridge the gap? Now you've gone to school, you've learned the mathematics, you've learned the English, you've learned the literature, you've learned everything that you need to learn. But the current world that we have is a digital world. The current world that we have is a digital world. It is a world where digital innovations is taking like up things around the world. And if you want to be, if you want to be valuable in this 21st century, you will need to begin to acquire one or two digital skills. So now that does not affect your education. You go to school, you do everything that you do, but you still need to be passionate about learning a specific digital skill. And I'm going to balance everything together in relation to how I went about it while growing up. Now, the 21st century skills can be divided into two. The 21st century skills can be divided into two: the soft skills and the hard skills. The soft skills and the hard skills. And this is the point where you begin to write something. I want you to note it down. The soft skills and the hard skills. What are the soft skills? The soft skills are those skills that you can't like measure them. They are not directly measurable. They are not directly measurable. All right. They are not directly measurable. And I'm going to give an example to them. The soft skills. It's not like skills that you can see, that kind of thing. Then when we talk about the hard skills, there are things that you can do with your hands. You can show them, you can measure them, you can show the output of what you have done. Okay. And I'm going to start with the soft skills. And I gave you the formula for soft skills. I gave you the C4. I gave you the what? C4. C4. And number one C is critical thinking. Number one C is critical thinking. And what is critical thinking? It is simply the ability to look at a thing or look at a situation beyond the status quo. Ability to look at a thing and analyze it beyond like the shallow way that somebody else will see it. And in critical thinking, critical thinking will help you see, how do I put it now? Think through something and critique it and analyze it. And you'll be able to talk about the strength and the weakness of that thing. Critical thinking. Critical thinking. You'll be able to look at a problem, a challenge, and be able to think through it on this challenge. What are the opportunities within this challenge? All right. What are the opportunities within this? When you view any situation, you'll be able to think through it in a critical way, not just in a shallow way. You'll be able to analyze it. When they tell you this is how something is done, okay, you don't just stick to the status quo. You think beyond. All right. You think beyond and look at it and say, okay, is this thing really the way it is? And you were taught critical thinking. And this is where academics started helping us to think critically. Your mathematics that you do in your school, the topics were designed also to help you think critically. Critical thinking is a skill that you must have, a soft skill. How to think how to think. All right? You must develop how to think. How to think. Because critical thinking has a lot of impact on your mind. You know, like, I mean, I'm a Christian. And the Bible was saying is that, like, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. And there's a word that they say, as a man thinketh in his heart, so he is. So he is. So you must learn to use your mind very well. You must learn to use your mind very well. Critical thinking. Okay. What did I call the first thing? Can you echo it back to me? Critical what? Critical thinking. All right. You must be able to analyze a situation. Okay. You must be able to analyze the situation. Now, the second one is communication. The second one is communication. All right. Communication. That is the second C. Communication. You must be able to communicate with people, understand their viewpoint, communicate your viewpoint. You may have a very good idea. You may have a very good thing in your mind, but if you are not able to communicate it with people, you are not going to get the best of that thing. You are not going to get the best of that thing if you are not able to communicate it with people. So, and that begins from the way you talk to your friends. Some of you, like, you find it difficult to talk with people. I want to talk about communication skills. It is not the same thing as becoming a talkative. Okay? It is not the same thing as becoming a talkative. A good communication skill doesn't mean you have to talk always when you are with people. No. It doesn't mean you always have to talk about everything. But you may be able to communicate your idea. How many of you participate in a debate competition? You've participated in a debate before. Can I see your hands? In your school? Exactly. Thank you. So one of the things participating in debates will help you to do is your ability to communicate your viewpoint in a convincing manner. Also, in a way to communicate something, tell somebody something in a way that they can understand, coming to their level. And I put a book here on how to win friends and influence people. How to win friends and influence people. You can write the book down. It's by Dale Carnegie, I think. Yeah. How to Win Friends and Influence People. Is a very, 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 very important book. A very important book. The third one is collaboration. The 21st century soft skill that you must build is what? Collaboration. Can you echo it out loud? Collaboration. What is collaboration? Your ability to work with people. Your ability to work with people. There's an adage that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with people. What did I say? If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with what? People. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with people. So collaboration, your ability to work with people. It is very, very important. Very important. Your ability to work with people. Among your friends, what are the things you come together to do? Do you only come together to gossip about people? Or you come together to discuss something that is very important to your lives? When you have assignments, for example, when you have assignments in school, it is not that you should copy each other, but you can learn from one another. Oh, I don't understand this. Can you explain to me? I don't get this, that the teacher taught us this in class. I don't understand. Can you, explain it to me? Learn to work with people. Learn to share with people. Learn to share your ideas with people. Get their ideas at the same time. When they give you group work to work together, I don't know if they give you all those group works. Maybe they tell you to go and do something together in a group. How do you work with other people? When they pair you to work with people, do they like you? Do you have a good attitude? Are you always like, only my viewpoint should be heard? Are you only telling them that only what you want them to do is what they should do? Or you are ready to listen to them and say, okay, what do you think about this? That is how you collaborate with people. You don't just want your whatever you are saying to be what they will take from you. Okay, if there's a Kunle, you can tell Kunle, okay, Kunle, what do you think about this? How should we do this? What do you think about that? Then the other person says, oh, what do you think? At the same time, oh, this is what I think. In collaboration, when you talk with people, what you make is suggestions. As suggestions, you don't command them. You don't say you must do it my way. You make suggestions like, I think we should do it this way. I'm suggesting that we should do it this way. You will need this skill if you want to succeed in the 21st century. Else, you're not going to get a lot of opportunities if you're unable to work with people. Another one is creativity. Creativity. That is the C4. The number 4C, creativity. What is creativity? Creativity is simply doing something in a different way. Doing something in a different way. Creativity is not bringing complexity into something. It is doing something in a different way. How have they been doing something before? How can I do it better? How can I do it better? That is creativity. Creativity. Thinking about, okay, this thing has been done this way before. What is a different way that I can do it? What is a different way that I can do it? What can I do differently? That is creativity. All right. And I'm going to move to the hard skills. I told you that there are two skills. There's a soft skill and there are what? The hard skills. The hard skills. And those hard skills are those things that you practice. They are things that you practice, the hard skills. Number one is digital literacy. Number one is digital literacy. Digital literacy. What is digital literacy? It is the ability to use digital devices, basically. Ability to use digital devices. How many of you know how to press phone very well? You know how to press phone? Wow. So what are the things you do on the phone? I need one person. This person seated in front of me. There's this lady. Somebody is seated like directly to the camera. The lady in front. There's a girl in front. Yeah. Can you come? Can you come to the microphone? Okay. Can you give her the mic? What's your name? Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah? Ukumi?
My name is Foundation.
Foundation.
Foundation. I'm at the
Patience. Patience.
Foundation.
Okay, patience. Okay. What class are you?
Foundation.
Rachel. Oh, Rachel. I can't hear. Can you put the mic close to your mouth?
The question does not mean so far. I
So-
use my phone to watch video sometimes.
To what?
Watch video.
Videos?
Sometimes I will play music.
Okay.
Sometimes I will do Facebook.
You will do what?
Facebook.
Facebook. Okay. What else?
I use
You do what? Are you afraid?
And
Do you? Okay, your assignment. You do your assignments on your phone, right? You do your assignments on your phone.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Rachel. It's nice to hear from you. Can you clap for Rachel? Now, Rachel has proven to us that She understands how to use digital devices. So Rachel could do Facebook on her phone, watch videos on her phone. What else? She does as her assignments on her phone. Now, here is what it comes back to. You knowing how to use your phone is not enough. But you knowing how to use your phone to achieve the result you desire in life is what is very important. So when you go on Facebook, what are the things you look for on Facebook? Who are the people you are following on Facebook? If you're a science student on Facebook, how many people in science are you following on Facebook? How many of them are you following on Facebook if you're a science student? If you're someone who is in the creative arts, how many people in literature or whatever that you do in art class, do you follow their page on Facebook? But if I ask you now, how many comedy skits do you follow on Facebook? Comedy skit makers. Many of you will know them, right? How many of you know Sydney Talker? How many of you know Sydney Talker on Facebook? The skit maker. Sabinos. How many of you know Sabinos? How many of you know Emanuela? This is not my real face, so Abi. Exactly. Do you see what I'm saying now? A lot of people, as good as you can use Facebook for all those things, you can watch comedy skits, you can do all these things that you do on Facebook, you can also get information that will really help your life. Information that will help your life. Information that will really help your life. Okay? Information that will really help your life. So look for people that you can follow on Facebook that are related to the future you desire for yourself. If you want to be a doctor, try to look for doctors on Facebook and follow them. If you want to be a lawyer, try to look for lawyer on Facebook and follow them. If you want to be a mechanical engineer, look for someone like Mr. Philip and follow him on Facebook. Okay? Whatever you want to be in the future, look for people that are in that area and follow them, search for information in that area, and follow whatever they are doing. That is how you can maximize your digital literacy in the 21st century. So your digital literacy will not only be based on being able to watch comedy skits only, being able to watch Emanuela only. Emanuela is simply making her money. I think she's a very rich girl now. And she's probably not older than many of you. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Many of you now, that's your same phone, the jokes that you make amongst yourself, like creative jokes that you make, you talk about something and it's funny. You could put your phone and record yourself. You understand that kind of thing? That is how Emanuela also started, and she's making the world laugh now. Right? But do you know Emanuela is still going to school despite being a popular skit maker? How many of you know that she's still going to school? You know that, right? Exactly. Exactly. So you are in school and you can be doing these things. So what do you use your phone for? Do you use them for things that are productive, or you use them to just waste your time on social media, watch TikTok dances, waste your data subscription on just that? Or are you using it for things that are productive? Digital literacy, it is very important. Another thing, art skill that you can have is programming skill. What did I say? Programming skill. Things like websites and application development, data science, which is what I do, machine learning, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and many others like that require programming. Programming skill. Programming skill. How many of you know? Okay, thank God you know Facebook. Do you know Mark Zuckerberg? Do you know Mark Zuckerberg? How many of you know Mark Zuckerberg? Can you show your hands if you know Mark Zuckerberg? I could only see maybe one hand at the back. How many of you use Facebook? How many of you use Facebook? How many of you are on Facebook? You know about Facebook. Can you show your hands? Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Rachel, I could see you laughing. Don't be shy. Okay. Now, Mark Zuckerberg is the one who built Facebook. He's the owner of Facebook. All right. And he was able to become successful, giving you something like Facebook because he could write code. There are 13-year-olds, 12-year-olds, 11-year-olds, 10-year-olds that are programmers that can even write code, program better than me. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying now? So your age is not a limit. So you can learn how to write code. That's also one thing that you can do. Another one is you can learn how to design. How to design. It could be how to design like graphics. How many of you have seen all those posters before? You've seen posters like when you pass by, like posters for concerts, posters for church, you've seen all those things before. People that are designing them, they make a lot of money from doing it. They make a lot of money from doing it. There's project management. There's no code development. You can build websites without writing code. You can learn how to do it, and you can make a lot of money from it. And it doesn't matter how brilliant you are in school. That is not what determines totally your success in the 21st century. So you may not be the best in your class, but you can be the best at these skills. You can be the best programmer. You can be the best designer. You can be the best developer. Another one is social media and digital marketing skills. Many of you know social media. You use Facebook, right? You use Facebook. But do you know that if your mother is selling clothes in the market, how many of you is your mother a trader or your father is a trader? Can I see your hands? Your mother is a trader? Can I see your hands? Or your father is a trader? Do you know that you can use social media to help them make more money by snapping the picture of what they are selling? Maybe they are selling clothes. You can snap the picture of what they are selling and post it online on your Facebook and say, this clothes of whatever is for sale. This is the price. Call this number. Do you know you can show your parents' products to the world and they can make more money? And you can, if your parents are not traders, you can help somebody put them on social media. There are many of these, the elders, the older people who don't use social media, and they are selling like different wonderful stuff. They have products that they sell. Do you know you can use social media to attract more people to your school? Do you know that? You can use social media to attract more people to your school. More people to your school. You can use social media to attract more people to your school. You can take a picture of you in uniform and speak good English, or teach people simple mathematics on online using your phone, and you can make a lot of money from it. Content creation, social media, they are great skills that you can have. So you can become a content creator even though you are still in high school. You can create good content for people to benefit from. There's 3D printing. There's robotics. How many of you know robots? How many of you know robots? You've seen robots in movies like that, right? Exactly. There are people who build robots. They build robots. Okay. There's renewable energy technology. How many of you have seen solar before? All this solar. Exactly. There are people who are building those things. Okay. And more skills. There's blockchain technology. There's robotics, cloud computing, a lot of things. These are skills that you can have. These are skills that you can have. And you can learn any of them, even while you are in high school. Even while you're in high school. I'm going to skip the last thing that I want to say, and on how to choose 21st century art skills. I'm going to skip them. All right. Then tell you about how can you learn any of the skill that you want to learn. How many of you know about YouTube? You know about YouTube? Okay. Now, when you get home today, all right, when you get home, either on your phone, if you have a phone, or on your parents' phone, you can pick the phone and go to youtube.com and type anything that you want to learn on YouTube. Anything that you want to learn from everything I've listed today. If you want to learn programming, just type programming on YouTube. If you want to learn design, just type design on YouTube. All right? Anything you want to learn, anything. If you want to learn social media marketing, just type it on YouTube. Just type it on YouTube. Okay? How many of you will do that? How many of you will do that when you get home? I'm not seeing many hands. How many of you will do that when you get home? Okay? The person seated beside Rachel. Rachel, can you hear me? The person seated beside you, the girl seated beside you, to your left. Can you come to the microphone as I wrap up? What's your name? Yeah?
Mohammed Fudiat.
Fumbiat, right? Simbiat. Simbiat, right?
That's all.
Okay. Simbiat, out of the skills that I listed, which one do you think you would like to search on YouTube? You would like to look for on YouTube? Which one? What do you say? I didn't hear you. Robotics. That's amazing. That is really good. That is really, really good. So go to YouTube, type robotics on it, and watch those videos and see if it is something you can learn and begin to learn, like to see how they do it. And it's going to amaze you that if you focus on it with all your energy, you can become the youngest female robotics in Nigeria, robotics engineer in Nigeria, who became a robotics engineer while in high school. Is that possible, Simbiat? Okay, thank you. Can you clap for Simbiat?
Thank you, sir.
So as I close, I want you to remember these things from everything that I've said, is that your opportunities are limitless. What did I say? Can you echo it back? Your opportunities are limitless. Can you echo it back? Can I say my opportunities are limitless? My opportunities are limitless. My success is not just dependent on my education. I am the creator of my future. I am the creator of my future. And I will succeed no matter what happens in the society. All right. Thank you very much. And God bless you. Thank you. So thank you, Mr. Philip. Promise, Maiwa. Yeah, I'm done.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. That was really an educative session. So I understand that some of the students will want to ask questions because, of course, the session was really helpful. Yes, it was impactful. I personally was able to learn new things. I don't know about you, but I'm sure that if you take your time to listen attentively, and you will be surprised. Mind, as I said earlier, under the soft skill, all of us as human, we have the possibility of bringing out those skills. And in fact, I can say that most of us are created with those skills. But what keeps limiting our opportunity is the fact that we are not willing to develop those skills. Of course, as human, you can communicate, you can think, and all that. But what differentiates you from other is how well you are able to use that skill of yours. So I'll be giving 3 students the opportunity of asking questions. One person from SS1, SS2, and SS3. Can we have volunteers? I'll just be taking 3 questions. I can see one and can anybody from the school help me to coordinate that? Okay. Let's clap for him.
My question is about when.
Hold on. Hold on. Mr. Aderele, can you hear
Yes.
them?
Yes, I'm trying to hear. Yeah, I'm trying to hear.
Okay, you'll be noting down the questions and you will answer it together.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So please introduce yourself before speaking, and over to you.
My name is Oliani Preston. I'm from SS1. My question is, when Trump was talking about that we should go to YouTube and ask our question, what if my dad and my mom did not have Android phone? How can I go about it?
Good question. Good question. I like that. Let's ask the next, then I'll answer everything together. Is there a next
All right.
person?
The next person, please. Thank you, Prosper.
My name is Anthony Obalua.
Okay.
From S2 class. I want to ask that how can we develop ourselves in local development?
Okay, I like that. Good question. Is that all?
Any other person? One more person to make it 3.
My name is Mohammed Ibrahim from SSE.
Questions.
I would like to ask, how can we put these skills into use?
How can you put what?
The skills into use.
The skills into use. Okay, good question. Yeah, thank you very much. That's all right. I can answer now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that is wonderful. The first question is, if your parents don't have an Android phone, how do you do it? Okay, you know, when I was growing up, we did not have a television in our house. For example, we did not have a television in our house when I was growing up, not because my parents could not buy a television, but because they believe that television is a distraction and they didn't buy a TV in our house. So we go to other people's house or their homes to, watch TV. Okay. Or when we didn't have PlayStation, when we finally got TV, we didn't have a PlayStation. Then it was the days of Sega. I don't think any of you played Sega now. Sega. I think you play PS2, PS3 now, or PS4, PS5. It was the days of Sega. Now, what we did then, myself, my brothers, because we were so hungry to watch television, the people who have TV in their homes, they don't allow you enter their door. They open the window. You understand? They open the window a little with small part of the curtain for people to watch the TV from the window. And we stand at the window to watch like TV in their homes. I remember one of the movies, Afonja. I think I stood on stone like this. We're like 5 of us or something, standing at somebody's window. They on the TV there, they open the curtain. They didn't allow us enter their room. They were watching the movie via the window. What is the essence of the story I'm telling you? Is that if you badly want to learn something, you are going to find people who have what you don't have and beg them to help you, like to give you the opportunity to use theirs. There's probably an uncle around maybe in your house where you live. There's probably maybe a senior person and everything. You can approach them and say, please, can you borrow you? Why am I speaking? What kind of English am I speaking now? Can you lend me your phone? I want to borrow your phone to check something on YouTube. Oh, I want to check. There's a skill they told us. They say we should check this skill. And I want to check this. And appeal to the person to help you. And if the person rejects you, did not give you, go to another person and beg the person. Do you understand? If you can do all the effort to ask for help from people who could render it, ask for help now for them to give you the things you don't have in terms of maybe their phone or their laptop or something to learn something, so that in the future, you will not beg for money if you don't have a skill. Do you understand? So it is good to beg for resources to learn a skill now, so that in the future, you will not have to beg for money. That is was I able to answer the first question? Find those who have, beg them to borrow you. Try your best to do it. The reality is that there's no excuse that you can give for not becoming who you should become in the future. For not becoming who you should become in the future. There will always be a good excuse for not learning something. And you need to begin to learn that now from your high school. There will always be a good reason. I lost my mother when I was 19 years old. And there was a good excuse for me not to pursue a great future. I can say, oh, my mother is dead. We don't have money again. My dad lost his job when I was 17. My mother died when I was 19. We didn't have any money in our house. All right. So there was a good excuse for me to say, oh, I will not be successful. I will not, everything. And I needed money to go to school. I rallied round. I begged people for school fee. My school fee I need to pay. Can you help me? That kind of thing. I was not ashamed because I have an understanding that I cannot give excuse for my future, because there will always be a good excuse, but your future does not want an excuse from you. So try your best. Go the extra mile. Then the second question was, how can you learn no-code skill? What I'm going to do is the organizer. I can send specific link to learn specific skills. I will send it as a one PDF file. I don't know how they can share it to the students. Do you understand? I will do that, like it's a list that will contain you can just go them directly, and I will ensure that there are YouTube links where you can go where you don't have to pay for anything. They're just straight up. I'm going to curate them and send it to the organizer. And you can have it and try things out yourself. So link on where to learn them. Okay. And the other person said, how do I put it to use? Now, when you want to eat, what do you do first? Do you cook or you eat first? I want an answer. What do you do first when you want to eat? Do you cook first or you eat first? I didn't hear anything. Do you cook first or you eat first? You cook first, right? Exactly. So it is not about how do I put it to use first. It is about how do I acquire the skill first. And that is by learning. As you learn, you will be gaining understanding of how to use them, how to apply them. But you need to begin somewhere by learning them. And that is what I'm going to achieve by curating those lists and send it to the organizers so that they can give it to you. It's just going to be like a page with links to learn specific skills at your level that will really help you. Yeah. I think I was able to answer all the questions.
Thank you so much. You can agree with me now. It's an education. Learn something. Say learning, learning, learning. I want to hear you speak. Say it as if you mean it. Learning, learning, learning. Okay. Up school. Up school. Up brighter. All right. So we'll be moving